Okay, hi. Today is my 34th day of my gluten and sugar-free eating. And as you can see, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm doing a little better with my hair, a little better with my makeup because, you know, I I really do think the sugar and gluten-free is helping inflammation, which is helping my healing. It still hurts. I'm still have limitations. Um, but I'm getting better and stronger every day. And I'm trying to use that strength to eat better, do better in general, feel better about myself. I mean, if you look at like some of my first videos, I'm looking really rough because I just had surgery and I was in pain and I really couldn't move my arm. And I did that because, again, this is a really real weight loss journey. I want everybody to know that you just start where you're at. I mean, if I can do it with all those strikes against me and just somehow find the courage to say, enough is enough. I'm 52 years old. What kind of life am I going to have? Am I going to just grow increasingly decrepit until I just really can't do that much? Or do I want a healthy, vital, and active older age? So I've got to change my ways, and it's not easy. It wasn't easy. I mean, those first few days, it was just, I was really struggling to give up those sugar and carbs. I mean, because I didn't get to be 100 pounds overweight, which is how I started, eating carrots and raw celery. I mean, I ate a lot of carbs, a lot of junk food, especially me. I mean, I really overdid it. I mean, I've shared some of my videos. A typical lunch for me, especially when I was in college, was a bag of peanut M&Ms and M's and some milk because I rationalized, hey, the peanuts and milk have protein, the milk has calcium, the little, chocolate and candy coating around the peanuts isn't that much sugar. I mean, the rationalizations that we use, I mean, it's endless. I'm probably worse than most people in that regard. I mean, I can't think of too many people that could really rationalize peanut M&Ms and M's and milk as a nutritious lunch, but hey, I did it for years. And did I feed my daughter like that? No. It was the opposite. I was making homemade bread for her and you know, scratch egg salad and tuna salad. And I wasn't buying the junk in the deli. No, I would take tuna and, drain it and mix it with mayonnaise and some, celery for some extra color and extra fiber and extra nutrition. Red raw pepper, um, little sections for a snack. I mean, I taught her, this is the irony. I taught her to eat really healthy, and she did eat really healthy. And the irony is that I didn't eat that myself. And I didn't mean to be a hypocrite. My thinking was, she's growing. Healthy food is really crucial and really important, but I'm grown already. So I'm not building lung tissue and kidney tissue, liver and bones. I built it already. I'm just maintaining. So I don't need as much nutrition. I mean, okay, I admit I'm probably worse than most people with those rationalization. That's a little out there, but I don't think I'm the only one. I really don't. I don't think I'm the only one that can do that. But, you know, that could be a little humorous, but all joking aside, I mean, it's really not funny. It's not funny to reach the age of, I was 42 when I was diagnosed with the prediabetes, high cholesterol. My cholesterol was 289 I was first diagnosed. High blood pressure, and I mean high blood pressure. My blood pressure was running 150 over 100. That's high. None of that's funny, what all that junk food did to me. It's not. And I used to feel like a ticking time bomb. Really, I was thinking, well, when is it going to come? Every little chest pain, is this it? Is this the heart attack? Every headache, is this it? Is this the stroke? that's no way to live. And I didn't have to. And I regret that it's taken me 10 years. For 10 years, I've been struggling with this prediabetes. And I'm very, very blessed to have a great doctor and who speaks frankly to me but kindly. It just says to me, you're too sick to get diabetes. I mean, you have, I have other health problems. I mean, I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I'm not sure about that diagnosis, but I've been diagnosed with it. I haven't talked too much about it because it really doesn't have that much to do with the subject, but I will say it because, it just might. I have an adrenal gland tumor that messes with my electrolytes and my energy levels. Um, I got a lot going on. So I don't need a preventable serious disease on top of that. So I have struggled so hard for 10 years. I've tried so many different diets and plans. I've tried Atkins and, oh, all kinds of things. I mean, I would just read, I don't even remember the names of most of them. I just read in a magazine. Like I've tried the green, what was it, barley juice and anything that wasn't like a supplement, I tried it. Any kind of eating plan. I've tried the South Beach diet and it didn't work that well because Atkins was just too much fat, too restrictive, and the rest of them, just eating a little bit of sugar just set me off. And I think because I was trying so hard, I was able to keep my prediabetes from going into full-blown diabetes. If I wouldn't have made any effort at all, I'm sure I would have been a diabetic, type 2 diabetic within a year or two. But I really tried, but I kept eating sugar and gluten. And I did not have a normal blood sugar reading like I did last Friday, last time I checked, for 10 years. It would go up and down. I mean, I've had 125, which is sort of diabetes, but I brought it down. It scared me so bad. I've had 118, 110, 107, 105, 103, 122. I mean, it's been all over the place, but never under 100. So that was really a big deal for me. And when did it happen? When I completely cut out sugar and gluten. And I mean completely. I read every label. I stopped using salad dressings. I had ketchup one day without thinking about it, but I no longer have ketchup. I got some sugar-free ketchup, sugar-free relish. I really was very strict. And I think that's what kind of turned the tide. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to go no sugar, no gluten, but I will suggest it because it's an addiction. And I'm convinced of that. I've talked in my other videos about that. Once I stopped eating sugar and gluten, it became so much easier to make healthy choices because I wasn't driven by addiction. Okay, I still have problems with carbs because let's face it, it's nice to eat stuff that tastes good, and it's usually not very fibrous, so it's easy going down, it's easy to eat, tastes good, gives you quick energy for a limited time. So I have to watch that. So I've really been struggling to not eat so many carbs because it's not the whole battle. Eating, sugar and gluten free is like a huge part of it, but it's not the whole story. But you will find after the first, for me, it was a couple weeks, it was a lot easier to just make better choices because it wasn't, I wanted to eat carbs, but it wasn't like this addiction driving me. Okay, so having said all that, um, I've talked about, without going into too much detail, like I've had a lot of family drama recently. Um, that's been stressful. And I'm not going to go into detail what it's about because it doesn't matter. I mean, everybody has it. It's different. And stress usually makes us want to comfort ourselves and treat ourselves. And what's the easiest, quickest, cheapest way to do that? food that we like to eat. So it was a real struggle for me to have that stress and not do what I've always done, which led to me being 100 pounds overweight, now 95 pounds overweight, hopefully less than that on weigh-in day. But I had talked about making these little gluten-free pies in my cupcake maker with a gluten-free homemade crust that I made. And then I got this pie filling at it's Walmart brand, Great Value, that has no sugar, it's just Splenda. And then I took a apple and two fresh apples and I cut those up and added it to it just to give it a little flavor. But it's actually, this pie filling is actually very good. You would never even think it was no sugar added. I mean, because fruit's kind of sweet anyway, but it's a little carby. So I already had it. I don't think I'm going to buy it again anytime soon. I really do want to limit my carbs and lose weight. I had that for breakfast. I know that's awful, but it was already made. I made it the night before thinking it was going to be for dessert for dinner, but things were so hectic and I was so stressed out. It was just a quick, easy breakfast. And then I decided that, I wanted something that had a little more protein. So I had the last two of those date balls that I made that have peanut butter, unsweetened cocoa, flax seeds, sesame seeds. What else? Flax seeds, sesame seeds. Um, Hemp seeds, and sunflower seeds, and pistachios. So that was a little bit of protein. And then I had that with 16 ounces of milk, skim milk. I already drank some, so that's what was left. That's a little carby. I mean, I say that every time, but I decided that the rest of the day I was really going to have to eat a little healthier, and I did. I did much better. So then for lunch, I had 3 ounces of the trout that I cooked in my George Foreman grill. I coated it with the Old Bay blackened seasoning and then grilled it in my George Foreman grill. It's very good. And that is green bean almondine with no sauce. I got that. That's Jolly Green Giant brand. I think I got that at Walmart. And I just put a little bit of onion powder. Onion powder is delicious on green beans. A little bit of butter and salt and pepper. So I had that for lunch. And then for dessert, because I gotta cut this dessert thing out. I just always like to have dessert. I had two, because I ate all the date balls now. So all I have is my little stevia nut squares, and that is peanut butter, stevia, cocoa powder, and all the same seeds and nuts: pistachios, sesame, sunflower, flax, and hemp seeds. I had two of those. There's the one, and I was just gonna have one, but I ended up having another one with 16 more ounces of skim milk. So that's the end of the milk. I really don't plan to eat a lot, drink a lot more milk. I read somewhere that dairy can kind of stall weight loss because, I mean, these are just theories that I read about, but why not try it? See if it works. I mean, it's not like crazy. It could be true. I read that dairy has like hormones to make a baby cow gain like 100, 200 pounds in a year. And we're not cows, but it's biologically similar enough to affect us. It's not going to turn us into baby cows or anything crazy like that. So I have read that dairy can kind of stall your weight loss. So I'm going to try it. Why not? So that's the last of the milk. I mean, I'm too frugal to throw it away. So I just went ahead and finished it. And then for dinner, I decided to eat kind of light. So I had the rest of that bag of French fry cut sweet potatoes and that is hummus, and that contains, hard to see, it's a terrible picture, but there's a little plastic container of hummus, and there's a lime wedge on that, and that lime squeezer, and then that can of diet pop. It's Hanson's ginger ale with Splenda. So I put the lime, squeeze the lime juice into the pop. It just gives it a little bit of a fresher taste. And I read that kind of it's alkaline. I mean, I don't, like I said, if it can't hurt and why it might help, why not try it? I mean, it's not like, green coffee bean extract that might have too much caffeine for me. I mean, it can't hurt a lime wedge. So that was my dinner. And then I was still kind of hungry. So I tried to eat a little bit of a healthier carb. I had one packet of that gluten-free oatmeal I found. Quaker makes a gluten-free oatmeal in little single serving packets. So I had that with some cashew milk. And those are blueberries in there. I had a few fresh blueberries left over from the time I made crepes a few weeks ago. And I put a little bit of butter and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Now, I do anything that's high in fat or high in calories, I do measure. I'm not really weighing and measuring anything right now, but I will soon because I'm getting better. I can move my surgery arm a little bit more. It hurts, but I think I can handle doing a little more stuff. So that's what I had, and that was it. And I wasn't hungry after the oatmeal. I think oatmeal is a really good treat for me because it's high in fiber, and I do think fiber keeps you fuller longer. So that's how my day went. Um, I'm trying to tighten up my program a little bit more, eat less carbs, eat a little healthier. I'm beginning to see this trend that my diet is still really carby. I mean, it's healthy carbs, true, but hummus and sweet potato fries and oatmeal and gluten-free pie, it's all very carby. And that's not going to help my weight loss, and it's not that healthy. So I'm going to continue to work on tightening up my plan and eating healthier. And I'm going to weigh in a couple days. So let's see if my efforts pay off. So hope you guys had a good day. Goodbye.